Question 75 of Summa Theologica, Pars Prima, on Man. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Laurie Arsenault. Summa Theologica, Pars Prima, on Man, by St. Thomas Aquinas. Translated by the Fathers of the English Dominican Province. Question 75. Of man, who is composed of a spiritual and a corporeal substance, and in the first place, concerning what belongs to the essence of the soul, in 7 articles. Having treated of the spiritual and of the corporeal creature, we now proceed to treat of man, who is composed of a spiritual and corporeal substance. We shall treat first of the nature of man, and secondly of his origin. Now the theologian considers the nature of man in relation to the soul, but not in relation to the body, except in so far as the body has relation to the soul. Hence, the first object of our consideration will be the soul. And since Dionysius, in parentheses, Ang Hieroglyphics 11, says that 3 things are to be found in spiritual substances: essence, power, and operation, we shall treat first of what belongs to the essence of the soul, secondly of what belongs to its power, thirdly of what belongs to its operation. Concerning the first, 2 points have to be considered. The first is the nature of the soul, considered in itself. The second is the union of the soul with the body. Under the first head there are 7 points of inquiry. 1. Whether the soul is a body. 2. Whether the human soul is a subsistence. 3. Whether the souls of brute animals are subsistent. 4. Whether the soul is man, or is man composed of soul and body. 5. Whether the soul is composed of matter and form. 6. Whether the soul is incorruptible. 7. Whether the soul is of the same species as an angel. Part 1, Question 75, Article 1. Whether the soul is a body. Objection 1. It would seem that the soul is a body, for the soul is the moving principle of the body. Nor does it move unless moved. First, because seemingly nothing can move unless it is itself moved, since nothing gives what it has not. For instance, what is not hot does not give heat. Secondly, because if there be anything that moves and is not moved, it must be the cause of eternal, unchanging movement, as we find proved, Physics 8:6. And this does not appear to be the case in the movement of an animal, which is caused by the soul. Therefore, the soul is a mover moved. But every mover moved is a body. Therefore, the soul is a body. Objection 2. Further, all knowledge is caused by means of a likeness. But there can be no likeness of a body to an incorporeal thing. If, therefore, the soul were not a body, it could not have knowledge of corporeal things. Objection 3. Further, between the mover and the moved there must be contact, but contact is only between bodies. Since, therefore, the soul moves the body, it seems that the soul must be a body. On the contrary, Augustine says, in parentheses, on Trinity 6:6, that the soul is simple in comparison with the body, inasmuch as it does not occupy space by its bulk.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?